Hey everyone, and here's a quick recap of that 2024 Week 11 Sunday games. So far in the early windows, we have the Dolphins beat the Raiders, like expected with Tua Tagovailoa coming back. He was 28-36, 233, 288 yards, 3 touchdowns. Gardner Minshew, second. Was 34-3, 2 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he had the interception. There's the problem though, is they couldn't get the running game going. 1 carry for 20 yards for Myers. At Genie had 17 carries, 73 yards, and Smith receiving had 101 yards, 2 touchdowns. A solid day for Tua Tagovailoa on the Dolphins after being injured. Out. You can't cut them out of the AFC wildcard. They're probably not going to win the AFC East, most likely. That'd be a miracle, but I could see them win the and then we have the Saints. They took it on the Browns team who's been struggling this year without their starting quarterback in Deshaun Watson. Jameis Winston came back, but he was doing really solid, but again, just not really going nowhere. Had more passing yards, but just, see right here, see the team sets. 1 fumble, 1 reception. Not bad, but they were just third downs. 3 of 13. I'd say just got bigger plays, big yards, situations. Got plays on that when they need to. And they actually got a lot of rushes. They were pretty efficient in the rush in the pass game. And the Saints are a team that you may have to watch out for, especially in the NFC South. Or the Falcons going to be one of those that they limp in the playoffs? Maybe. Oh man, the Falcons are not playing well. Here, the Colts. This was the Colts, and this is a flex out. And it ended up becoming a good game, but I see why they flex out because of the records. Indianapolis played really well. They benched Joe and Richardson, the coaching staff. He was the head coach and the coaching staff. They had to and the offensive coordinator and all that stuff. They had it where Joe Flacco was not working out. So let's bring in the quarterback's coach. Let's bring in all the coaches like that. Let's bring in Anthony Richardson back. And man, he did well. 20-30, 272 yards, a touchdown, no fumble, which he actually did really well. And Rodgers 22-29, 184 yards, 2 touchdowns. Did actually not bad, but he was not great on the passing end. And they just didn't have enough passing yards, but they were outplayed there. I mean, they had it, but maybe just a shorter field position game, and some of those drives turned into a couple field goal drives. They could touchdowns, make up a bit more yards, and ice this game away for the Jets. That's probably why they didn't get as many yards either. We have the Vikings. They beat the Titans 23-13. This is an expected win for them, but it was actually a really good game by Sam Darnold and the Minnesota Vikings offense. Their only miscue was a fumble that Sam Darnold threw. It was a pitch play that he threw to Aaron Jones in the first quarter. On the third play of the Vikings' opening possession offense, opening chance to score on offense, and Aaron Jones, he doesn't get a lot of rushing going, but Will Levis did not get much going either. Right here, 17-31, 25 yards, a touchdown, interception. And that's what it was at the end of the game, the interception, but with a minute 50 to go, so they didn't play horrible, but they played good, but they just had like one big play going down there. And they just can't get any rushing yards going. 7 carries for 18 yards, 15 carries, 39 yards. Justin Jefferson, 6 for 81. Nick Westbrook, Akine, 2 receptions, 117 yards, a touchdown. So he did really well. But he had that big long 90-yard pass. That's what really, otherwise he was shut down most of the game. And same with their offense. I mean, they weren't shut down necessarily, but They just got a bunch of sacks. And also, the problem was with the Titans, Tennessee Titans, is that they had a bunch of sacks about 5. And they were just wide open, like more wide, unblocked, hit, like unblocked, or like very easy, like offense line. They're rushing like 3, rushing 4, and they weren't rushing much, but they had either unopened blocks or just unblocked players, or in other scenarios like that. It's just like just did not look great for the Titans offensive line. And they got a bunch of penalty yards, 13 for penalties for 91 yards. Got a bunch of penalties. That's what hurts them when they got like illegal contact, pass interference, or roughing the passer, really hits. They had a bunch of those, like 15-yard penalty drive extenders, or just when the Vikings again 15 free yards. And they were just, Vikings could have had like over 4 yards of offense, and even maybe like 35-40 yards time possession, or 35-40 minutes time possession. But man, they played well. They actually played well, and that's a good sign for Sam Darnold, and that's Minnesota Vikings offense. It's, that's a good sign, regardless of who they play. Green Bay Packers squeak out a win over the Chicago Bears. Jordan Love had 13 of 17, 261 yards, a touchdown reception. Josh Jacobs, 18 carries for 176 yards, a touchdown. Christian Watson, 4 receptions, 150 yards. And you had DeAndre Swift, 14 carries, 7 yards. Rome, he had 6 for 60. He was the leading receiver on the day. K. Williams did not play bad, but he was 23 of 31 for 203 yards. It was just the problem, though, is the Bears could not finish drives. They just could not finish the drives. They had a 50-yard kick, 27-yard field goal, and they just couldn't finish drives. I mean, a couple of drives they had some, and they just had a lot of dink and dunk, like third down. The Packers got more bigger plays, 1 to 5 third down, or they're more fit, and they were more, as you can see, 43 plays. The Bears just got shorter plays, but some shorter plays, but they had a dink and dunk more, and check Jones, check what they could get, and they almost had it, but I mean, they just couldn't finish our drives at the end of the game, so it hurt them. And the Bears, they fell to 4-6 on the year. Packers scored 7-3. This was an expected win. The Lions, last time they played against the Tennessee Titans, they put 52 on them, as well as 52-14. This was a huge blowout win. I didn't expect. I mean, I kind of expect. I'm like, could it be a big blowout? Yeah, maybe. And it was. It was a big, huge blowout. 52-6. Not going to go much in that, but that was. There's not much to say other than the Jaguars were really massively disappointed. The Jaguars not like anyone but competitive in that one. Matthew Stafford and then Los Angeles Rams had 2 quarters, first and fourth quarter, where they were shut out. The second and third quarters where they just did all their scoring. At the end of the first half and the start of the second half, they did good, but 18-27, 228 yards, 4 touchdowns for Matthew Stafford. Played really efficient passing game. Rushing, they did not bad. About 15 carries, 86 yards for Kyren Williams. Stevenson got 20 carries, 73 yards. Drake May had 40, 22 yards, 2 touchdowns, interception. And they came back late in this game. They tried to come back late, the Patriots did, but they just didn't have enough time at the end of the game. They come back and when, they just got stopped on, at the end. So that was, and then look, you can see here, he had 3 sacks and a fumble and interception. That's what I heard of the turnovers. If New England didn't have the turnovers in that game, it would have been an even closer game. Both teams played actually pretty well, pretty similarly well actually. Just a little bit more rushing for that, but 4 touchdowns, a couple of field goals, but still really, if both teams played well, but just the turnovers hurt New England though. And LA Rams improved to 5-5. New England Patriots fought a 3-8. and the Los Angeles Rams are one game behind now the NFC West leaders, the Arizona Cardinals. The San Francisco 49ers, the score holds, they might be leading. They might be tied with the NFC West there, but they would have the advantage. They have the Arizona Cardinals actually have the advantage due to them beating the San Francisco 49ers earlier in the season. And then we have the game of the early window, the best game in the early window. The Baltimore Ravens took down the Pittsburgh Steelers. They wanted, they gave CBS two hot heavy games, a good early single game and a good early second game as well. And that's the night it could have been Baltimore Pittsburgh, but the NFL decided not to. Maybe they should have one good game for the early and late windows, one big huge game, and boy did it pay off. Both teams played well but their defenses, it was more of a defensive showdown during this one. Like, the defenses were the ones that played extremely well. Lamar was just not very efficient either though. But it was a good job forcing Lamar though for defense to get pressure on. Russell did not play super well, but he did enough he had to. And it was 18-16. Pittsburgh beats Baltimore. And they're like, Pittsburgh hasn't played any division games. They got to play 6 division games, all 6 division games in their last 8 games. Can they do it? Well, it's gonna be a tough stretch for them, and they proved that they can. Pittsburgh has actually gotten the best of Baltimore in their 9, I believe it's 9 out of 10 in a row. And Lamar just played well, didn't play that well. He played okay, but he didn't play well. Russell, was 23-36, 205 yards interception, not the best, but did what he had to do to win. And there was just a bunch of field goals, and it was just a bunch of games where both defenses played really well. Pittsburgh didn't even score one touchdown this whole game. So Pittsburgh scored 6 field goals. They were just drive killers. They just had a bunch of drive killers on there, but it was good. They just failed to convert on third downs to get first downs when they were in field goal range for crisp as well, and that just hurt them. But this could have been a little more wide open game. But it is what it is. Baltimore was right in there despite not, just Pittsburgh just need to finish more drives, but their defense is really solid and that's what helped them. The defense came to play today to stop Baltimore, and so did. And Baltimore's defense came to play as well, but Baltimore just couldn't score enough, to make it. They did, but they just couldn't get the 2-point conversion at the end either, though. And at the very end of the game, with a minute to go, they just couldn't get the 2-point conversion. Otherwise, a tie game. But Pittsburgh was 18-16. Pittsburgh just needs to be a little bit more efficient offense. Converts. Not saying you convert every one of those 6 field goals into a touchdown, but maybe a couple of them. At least convert maybe 2 of them, 1 or 2 of them into touchdowns. This game would have been a different story if you convert one for at least 1, if not 2. That would have been 33%. That's 2 of 6, about 33.33%. That would have gave them, which is not a lot to ask for. But but when you're playing a team like this, sometimes you have the ugly wins, wins that don't look the best. The best offensive game. That's what Pittsburgh showed. They didn't have the best offensive game, but they did what they needed to win. And sometimes it's going into the playoffs and going into the AFC playoffs and going, in the regular season, you need some elite wins like this to prove that you can have a grind out type of game, as well as have a nice wins. You want to show that you can win, grind it out, win kind of close, and have some teams that you're expected to win by You prove that you're better than them.